The alien sky was alive with movement. Countless ships glided above the surface of their planet, their metallic bodies glinting under the twin suns. Alien commanders stood on tall observation towers, their eyes scanning the stars and the fleets below. They spoke in sharp, clipped tones discussing the humans. "Humans are weak," said Commander Rylak, his voice cold and full of certainty. "Small, fragile, and unimportant. They cannot challenge us." "No need to waste energy thinking about them," another commander added. "They belong to the past. Their weapons are weak. Their technology is slow. They are nothing." Nearby, a young alien girl named Lyra watched from her tower. Her eyes followed the ships as they moved in perfect formation. She had always been fascinated by humans. Her elders called them weak, but something about them intrigued her. She could not explain why. Their stories, their stubbornness, their ability to survive against impossible odds. It fascinated her. Suddenly, an alarm rang across the observation deck. Red lights flashed across the panels. "Commander, something is in orbit." "Unknown signature detected," a technician shouted. Rylak's head snapped toward the viewports. Every other commander froze. Lyra leaned forward, her heart beating faster than ever. In the distance, among the familiar stars, a strange energy signature appeared. It was unlike anything they had ever seen. "Scan it," Rylak barked. "Identify it immediately." The technicians typed rapidly, their fingers flying over controls. The energy reading grew stronger and brighter. The aliens watched in disbelief as the object slowly moved closer to the planet. It's a human ship," one of the lower officers stammered. "Impossible. Humans cannot have such a vessel." Lyra's eyes widened. Her fascination turned into awe. She had seen human ships in stories on ancient records, tiny ships with weak shields and minimal weapons. But this was different. The ship was massive. Its surface glowed with strange patterns of energy. Its engines emitted a hum that seemed alive. It was not just a ship, it was a force. The alien fleet scrambled. Ships turned and moved to intercept the massive human warship. Commanders barked orders, their confidence cracking as their scanners failed to understand the ship's design. "Is this a trap?" one asked nervously. "It cannot be," Rylak shouted, but even he could not hide the fear creeping into his voice. "Prepare all weapons. Target it. Fire when ready." Lyra stayed frozen, her gaze locked on the descending ship. It moved slowly, carefully, as if it was studying the planet below. Her mind raced. Why would humans come here? Was this an attack? Or something else? The warship descended closer, its massive hull reflecting the light of the twin suns. Small alien fighters swarmed around it, but none dared to attack first. The human ship did not fire. It simply hovered, calm, silent, and enormous. Lyra could feel a strange pull, a curiosity she could not resist. She had always wondered if humans were truly as weak as her elders said. Now she knew there was no way to understand them from stories alone. This ship was proof of something more. From the massive deck of the human warship, a single light flashed. It was small but clear. A signal. It moved across the sky, flickering like a star that refused to stay still. "Commander, the humans, they are sending a signal," a technician shouted. Rylak frowned. "What does it mean?" he demanded, but no one had an answer. The signal was strange, foreign, and impossible to decode. The humans had communicated without words, without sound, without any weapon being fired. The signal itself was enough to send fear and confusion through the alien ranks. Lyra's heart raced faster. She felt both fear and excitement. She wanted to know what the humans were planning. She wanted to see them up close, even if it meant breaking the rules. She could not look away. The human warship continued to hover silently above the planet. No one knew its intent. Not the alien commanders, not the pilots, and not the technicians frantically scanning for answers. Even Lyra felt a shiver of uncertainty. Something was coming. Something no one had predicted. Above her, the twin suns shone brightly, but their light did not touch the shadow of the massive human warship. Silence filled the air, broken only by the hum of alien engines and the quiet whispers of fear. Lyra whispered to herself, almost afraid to speak, "Humans, what are you?" The alien commanders exchanged uneasy glances. Their confidence had vanished. The warship hovered, waiting, calm and unyielding. No one dared move. No one knew what would happen next. The sky belonged to the humans now. And in that moment, Lyra realized one simple truth. The galaxy would never be the same again. The alien sky was tense. All eyes from the towers and the fleets were fixed on the massive human warship hovering silently above their world. The fleets, once confident, now moved with caution. Commander Rylak barked orders, but his voice carried a hint of unease. "Scan it again. I want its structure, its weapons, its energy, everything," he shouted. Technicians typed frantically, their screens lighting up with strange readings. The human ship defied all expectations. Its hull absorbed every scan, reflecting alien energy signatures back like glass. Its shields shimmered, and even the most advanced sensors could not penetrate the mysteries of the vessel. Lyra watched, unable to look away. Her fascination with humans had grown into a mixture of fear and awe. She had never imagined that humans could command such a massive warship. Her mind raced. How had one human built something so powerful? How had they come so far? Then a sudden flash of light cut across the sky. "The humans, they are sending a signal," shouted one of the alien technicians, pointing at a small blinking pattern on the display. Rylak leaned forward, frowning. "What does it say?" "No one can read it, Commander," the technician replied nervously. "It is unlike any code we have seen. It moves, changes, and adapts. Our computers cannot decipher it." Alien pilots flew in tight formations around the human warship, ready to strike at any moment. But the human ship did not attack. Instead, it hovered silently, sending signals that confused the aliens more with each pulse. Every signal seemed deliberate, calculated, and strange. It was as if the ship itself were alive. Lyra felt a shiver run down her spine. She had always loved humans from a distance, but now, seeing them like this, she realized that they were nothing like her commanders said. "Wait, no. Insignificant? Far from it. This ship was proof that humans were more than just fragile creatures. They were clever, dangerous, and unpredictable." "What are they planning?" one pilot whispered to another. "I don't know," the other replied. "But it feels like a warning." The signal continued, flashing in a complex pattern above the planet. Lyra tilted her head, studying it carefully. She noticed something unusual. The signal seemed to communicate a story, not words. It was a message of warning and challenge at the same time. Her pulse quickened. "Commander," one of the alien officers said, his voice trembling. "The humans, they are communicating without sound, without weapons, without words. How can one ship do this?" Rylak slammed his clawed hand on the console. "They are mocking us. They are testing us. Fire everything if necessary." But before anyone could act, the human ship pulsed with energy. The light from its hull expanded outward, creating a shield of dazzling brightness that forced the alien fleets to retreat. Every alien ship wavered as the energy washed over them. None were destroyed, but the effect was clear. Humans were in control and the aliens had no idea how to fight back. Lyra watched in awe. She could not hide her fascination. While the commanders shouted and the fleet scrambled, she whispered under her breath, "They are amazing." The alien fleets moved closer again, trying to understand the human ship's strategy. But each time the humans reacted faster than expected. The warship rotated, adjusting its shields, sending more signals, and moving like a ghost in the sky. Every alien attempt to attack was countered by something invisible and powerful. In the control tower, Rylak's face darkened. "We underestimated them," he muttered, almost to himself. "How can one human ship be so advanced?" Meanwhile, Lyra noticed a small detail that no one else did. The human ship's signals were aimed at a specific point on the planet, a communication hub in the alien capital. The humans were not attacking the fleets directly. They were sending a warning, a challenge, and perhaps a test. Her curiosity got the better of her. She leaned closer to the observation window, her eyes locked on the glowing ship. She imagined what it would be like to be inside it, to see the humans controlling such a massive warship. Her fascination overpowered her fear. "Why would they come here?" she whispered. "Are they trying to destroy us, or to teach us something?" Her thoughts were interrupted by a sudden alarm. Alien technicians shouted as the human ship emitted another pulse, this one stronger, brighter, and more focused. The pulse sent ripples through the alien communication networks. Screens flickered, ships paused mid-flight, and even some of the most experienced commanders froze in confusion. "They are affecting our systems," one officer yelled. "Our technology, it's failing." Rylak's eyes widened in shock. "Impossible," he roared. "How can a human ship interfere with our entire fleet?" Lyra's heart pounded. She realized that humans were not just strong, they were smart. Their power was not in brute force alone. It was in strategy, intelligence, and understanding. One ship, one human, could challenge an entire alien world without firing a single shot. The alien fleets tried to regroup, forming tight formations to protect the planet. But every time they moved, the human ship responded. Its energy pulses, its signals, its movements, all were precise and purposeful. The humans seemed to predict every alien action before it happened. In the midst of chaos, Lyra made a decision. She would watch, learn, and perhaps help. She could not ignore the brilliance of the humans. She wanted to see what would happen next. Her heart beat faster with anticipation and fear. The human ship hovered silently above the planet, sending its cryptic signals into the alien sky. Its intentions remained a mystery. The aliens could attack, retreat, or wait, but none could truly understand what was coming. And Lyra knew one truth with certainty: the galaxy would never be the same again. For the first time in her life, she felt hope and fear at the same time. The human signal continued to blink in the sky, unbroken and unreadable. The alien fleets watched, paralyzed by confusion and awe. And above it all, Lyra whispered once more, almost afraid to speak aloud. They are different. They are humans. The war had not yet begun, but the battle for understanding and survival was already in motion. The alien world was in chaos. Alien fleets buzzed across the sky like angry swarms of insects. Pilots shouted orders, engines roared, and weapons glimmered under the light of twin suns. But amidst the panic, all eyes were on the human warship hovering silently above the planet. Lyra watched from her tower, heart pounding. Her fascination with humans had grown into awe, but she also felt fear. The humans had already shown that they could control the battlefield without firing a single shot. Now the aliens were preparing to strike, and she wondered if anyone could stop them. Commander Rylak's voice boomed across the fleet. Form attack squads. Surround the human ship. Hit it from every side. Show them the strength of our empire. Alien ships surged forward. Fighters darted like lightning, and massive cruisers moved into position. Laser turrets glowed as they targeted the human vessel. But the human warship did not move like a normal ship. It rotated smoothly, its massive hull reflecting energy pulses harmlessly. Every shot fired by the aliens was absorbed or deflected. One of the alien pilots yelled, frustrated, "Commander, our weapons have no effect. Nothing works." Rylak's clawed hands clenched. "Keep trying. Fire everything. Don't let them." His words were cut off as the human ship moved. Without warning, the human warship darted forward, faster than any alien craft could track. It struck the lead formation of alien cruisers with a pulse of energy. The cruisers shuddered, systems failing, but none were destroyed. Instead, they were thrown into disarray, colliding with one another as pilots tried to regain control. Lyra gasped. How can one ship do this?" she whispered to herself. The human ship rotated in the sky, dodging incoming attacks as if it could see the future. Alien pilots struggled to aim. Their weapons fired, but each shot seemed too slow, too weak, too ordinary. The human warship moved like a predator, precise and lethal without showing its full power. "Focus fire," Rylak shouted. "Do not let it escape." But no matter what the aliens tried, the human ship anticipated every move. It sent out a pulse of energy that disrupted alien navigation systems. Cruisers spun out of control, fighters collided mid-air, and even the most experienced commanders struggled to maintain order. From her tower, Lyra could see the humans clearly now. The ship was enormous, with glowing patterns across its hull, pulsing like a heartbeat. It was not just a vessel, it was alive with purpose. She felt her admiration growing stronger even as the aliens panicked. "Why are they so smart?" she muttered. "How can one ship defeat all of this?" The human captain, a figure unseen by the aliens, moved with quiet confidence. Lyra imagined the human inside, calm and calculating, knowing exactly what to do next. The aliens, in contrast, were loud and chaotic, reacting with fear and anger instead of strategy. The first major strike came when the human ship emitted a wide pulse of energy directly at a group of alien destroyers. The pulse did not destroy them, but it scrambled their weapon systems completely. Guns misfired, shields dropped, and engines faltered. Alien ships spun helplessly, unable to continue the attack. "Retreat! Retreat!" some commanders yelled. But others refused, blinded by pride. They fired again, only to be countered by another wave of energy from the human ship. Lyra's heart raced as she watched the battle unfold. She noticed something important: the humans were not attacking to destroy. They were controlling, testing, and teaching. The alien fleets were strong but disorganized. The human warship used intelligence, precision, and timing to dominate the battlefield without mass destruction. "Why aren't they destroying us?" she whispered. "What do they want?" The alien fleets were forced into tight formations trying to regroup. The human ship hovered above, sending signals that interfered with alien communications. Orders became confused. Pilots argued over what to do. Confusion spread like wildfire. Then the first casualties came. A small fleet of alien fighters attempting to flank the human warship were met with a focused energy beam. The beam disabled engines instantly. The fighters drifted helplessly, sparks flying, and crash-landed on nearby moons. It was the first real display of human power, and it terrified the alien commanders. Lyra's eyes widened. They are not just clever. They are dangerous. The humans did not fire another shot. They hovered, calculated, and waited. Every alien attack that came their way was turned aside with minimal effort. The aliens had no idea how to counter such intelligence. They were strong, yes, but raw strength alone could not beat skill, strategy, and precision. "Commander," a technician shouted. "The human ship, it's reading us. It knows what we will do before we do it." Rylak growled. "Impossible. No human can be so powerful." But Lyra knew the truth. Humans were not just physical beings, they were thinkers. They studied, adapted, and outsmarted. One human ship, one captain could change the outcome of an entire battle. In the midst of the chaos, Lyra felt a strange thrill. She had always admired humans, but now, seeing their power firsthand, she felt hope. Hope that one day she might understand them fully. Hope that they might teach her something. But she also felt fear. Fear for her people, fear for the planet, fear for what might come next. The alien fleets continued their attacks, but each move was anticipated. Each plan was countered. The human ship hovered above the battlefield, calm, calculating, and unbeatable. Its pulses of energy and strange signals had already rewritten the rules of engagement. As the sun dipped behind the horizon, the human warship remained in the sky, unmoved and unbroken. Alien fleets limped back to regroup. Pilots whispered rumors of human powers, of intelligence beyond imagination. The commanders were silent, their pride shattered. And Lyra watched, frozen in awe. "They are unstoppable," she whispered. The first strike had ended, but the war was only beginning. One human, one ship had already shown the galaxy that humans were not weak. The aliens would never see the galaxy the same way again. And above them all, the human ship hovered silently, its purpose still unknown, its power unmatched, its intent a mystery that could change the fate of an entire world. The alien world was still recovering from the first strike. Alien commanders huddled in their control towers, arguing and shouting, trying to figure out what had happened. Their fleets were shaken. Pilots whispered rumors of a human ship so advanced it could predict every move, dodge every attack, and control the battlefield without a single fatal shot. Commander Rylak slammed his clawed hands on the console. "We cannot fight like this. This human is not just a ship, it is a weapon we cannot understand." Lyra stood quietly on her observation tower, watching the sky. She had seen the human's first strike and it had terrified her, but it had also sparked something new inside her: curiosity. The humans were clever, far beyond what her people expected. She could not look away. "They are different," she whispered to herself. "Not just strong, smart. Too smart." The human warship hovered high above the planet, calm and silent. Its glowing hull pulsed softly, almost like a heartbeat. But this time it was not attacking the alien fleets directly. Instead, it sent out pulses that reached deep into the alien networks, communication grids, supply routes, control systems. Everything flickered under the human signal, and confusion spread like wildfire. Rylak's eyes narrowed. "They are targeting our systems. Not the fleets, but the heart of our empire." Alien officers scrambled to respond. They tried to reroute communications, strengthen shields, and protect supply lines. But every move was anticipated. Every adjustment was countered. The human warship seemed to see into the future, predicting their every plan before it could be executed. Lyra noticed something the others did not. The humans were not attacking recklessly. They were precise, calculating, and deliberate. Every signal, every pulse, every movement was a message as well as a weapon. The humans were not here to destroy, they were here to teach, to challenge, and to expose weakness. Her heart raced. She had always admired humans, but now she realized how dangerous they were. One human ship could paralyze an entire alien world without firing a single deadly shot. And yet, somehow, Lyra felt hope. Perhaps there was a lesson in this, something her people could learn from humans if they dared. Meanwhile, alien fleets regrouped, trying to track the human ship. Pilots flew in tight formations, scanning for its location, hoping to strike at any weak point. But the human warship was always one step ahead. It moved like a ghost in the sky, silent, precise, and untouchable. A sudden pulse of energy erupted from the human ship, sending waves across the planet's surface. Alien supply convoys lost control. Energy grids flickered. Weapons systems failed mid-charge. Chaos erupted in the streets, and even the most disciplined officers panicked. This is impossible, one technician shouted. One ship cannot do all of this. Rylak growled, frustration boiling over. Do not waste time wondering. Find a way to stop it. But even as he spoke, Lyra noticed a subtle pattern in the human signals. The pulses were not random, they were teaching something, guiding something, revealing weaknesses in a way only someone paying attention could understand. Lyra felt a flicker of excitement. Could it be a chance to help? Could she finally see what humans were capable of up close? She made a decision. Quietly, she left her observation post and moved toward a hidden access point, bypassing security systems. Her curiosity burned brighter than her fear. The humans were intelligent, precise, and strategic. She wanted to see them, not from afar but closely. She wanted to understand their plan. As she moved, she noticed alien fleets struggling to regain order. Pilots argued over commands. Cruisers collided. Communication grids continued to flicker under the human signals. Every alien attempt to respond was anticipated and countered. Focus fire on the signals. Rylak shouted. Destroy them before they spread further. But every strike failed. The human pulses adapted, changing their pattern faster than the aliens could react. It was like fighting a shadow that could think faster than anyone else in the room. Meanwhile, Lyra reached a secluded observation deck overlooking the human warship. From there she could see its massive hull glowing under the twin suns. She felt both fear and admiration. The humans were clever beyond imagination. Every move they made, every signal they sent, revealed intelligence and planning. They were not just strong, they were untouchable in ways the aliens could not yet understand. They are teaching us, she whispered. Showing us what we cannot see. Suddenly, the human ship sent out another pulse, this one more focused, more precise. It disrupted alien defensive grids, leaving entire sections of the fleet momentarily blind. Pilots flailed in confusion, and even Rylak's most trusted commanders struggled to restore order. Lyra realized something terrifying. Humans were not just fighters, they were strategists. They could control a battlefield without direct combat, without destruction, simply by thinking faster and acting smarter than everyone else. And the aliens had no answer. Her pulse quickened. Could she help humans? Could she learn from them? Her people might call it betrayal, but Lyra could not ignore the brilliance of what she saw. The human ship hovered above the planet, sending waves of signals and energy across the alien networks. Every system it touched flickered under its power. Yet it remained calm and unmoving. It was a silent threat, a hidden force that alien commanders could neither attack nor predict. As night fell across the alien world, the human warship continued its watch. Its massive hull glowed like a star suspended in the sky, untouchable, intelligent, and terrifying. Alien fleets struggled to regroup, but the human signals were already one step ahead, guiding them into mistakes, exposing their weaknesses and keeping the humans' true purpose hidden. Lyra stood in silence, watching. They are unstoppable, she whispered again. And they are teaching us. The hidden threat was not destruction, it was knowledge, precision, and intelligence. And the aliens had no way to stop it. The war had shifted. Humans had claimed the sky above the planet, not with fire but with strategy. And Lyra knew one truth: everything was about to change. The human warship hovered silently, sending cryptic signals that none could understand, and the aliens could only wait, paralyzed, confused, and fearful. Above it all, Lyra whispered softly, almost afraid to speak aloud, "They are different. They are humans." And in the darkness, the hidden threat waited, calm and unstoppable. The alien world was tense. The fleets hovered in the sky, repairing damage from the human warship's pulses and signals. Commanders shouted orders, but the confusion from earlier attacks lingered. Even the most disciplined officers hesitated, unsure how to respond. Lyra stood in her observation tower, eyes locked on the glowing warship. Her fascination had grown into something deeper. The humans were not just strong, they were clever, precise, and unpredictable. And now they were moving closer to the planet itself. "They are coming down," she whispered, her voice trembling with excitement and fear. Commander Rylak's face was dark with anger. Prepare the ground defenses. Evacuate key areas. Do not let them land. But the humans did not attack recklessly. The warship descended slowly, hovering above a small moon near the planet. From this vantage point they could study the surface, the alien fleets, and the planet itself. Lyra felt her pulse quicken. This was the first time humans had come close enough to touch the alien world directly. They are studying us, she muttered. Not destroying, just observing. The alien commanders were frantic. Every system they tried to use was affected by the human signals. Communications flickered, shields wavered, and even the most advanced alien technology seemed to hesitate. Rylak roared orders, but his voice was drowned out by the chaos of malfunctioning systems. Lyra's curiosity overwhelmed her fear. She moved to a hidden observation deck closer to the landing site. From there she could see the warship's hull glowing under the twin suns. Strange lights pulsed across its surface. It was not just a ship, it was alive, thinking and calculating. They are amazing, she whispered. So smart, so precise. The humans began sending smaller craft toward the moon's surface. These were not attack vehicles. They moved with careful precision, scanning the terrain, analyzing structures and avoiding collisions. Lyra noticed that each craft emitted faint signals, communicating silently with the warship above. The aliens could not understand, but Lyra could sense a pattern. Humans were teaching, observing, and planning, all without firing a single weapon. Commander. Small crafts approaching the surface, shouted one officer. Do not attack. Rylak snapped. We cannot risk their main ship detecting our weapons. The humans touched down on the moon's surface. Lyra held her breath as she watched. The aliens could not see the humans inside, but she imagined them stepping out calmly, calculating every move and studying their surroundings. Even from a distance, the humans' confidence was clear. Lyra's thoughts raced. Could she approach them? Could she learn from them? Her fascination had grown into admiration, and she could not ignore the opportunity. But one part of her feared betrayal. Her people would call it treason if she helped humans, yet she felt compelled to act. The humans sent signals from the moon back to the warship. Alien systems flickered again, unable to decode the messages. Every pulse disrupted communications, energy networks, and surveillance grids. It was precise, deliberate, and unnerving. The humans controlled the battlefield without firing a shot. Lyra whispered, They are teaching us, not destroying us. The alien fleets watched helplessly. Pilots tried to maneuver, commanders tried to strategize, but every plan was countered by the humans' silent signals. Even the strongest alien ships seemed powerless against the intelligence guiding the warship. Suddenly, Lyra noticed a small human probe rising from the moon. It moved toward a hidden facility on the planet, scanning and mapping the terrain. The probe did not attack, it only observed. Lyra realized that the humans were gathering information. They were studying the planet, the alien fleets, and the weaknesses in their systems. Her heart raced. Humans were not just powerful, they were smart. One ship, one small team could control the entire battlefield. She understood now that humans relied on intelligence, observation, and precision. Strength alone was not their weapon, knowledge was. In the control tower, Rylak bellowed in frustration. How can they know what we will do before we do it? How can one ship control all of this? Lyra's eyes narrowed. She knew the answer. Humans were not just strong, they were thinkers. They studied, adapted, and predicted. One human warship could challenge an entire alien empire without a single deadly shot. The humans' smaller crafts returned to the warship, carrying information from the moon. The warship pulsed with energy, signaling once more. Alien systems glitched under the precision of the signals. Pilots lost their bearings and the fleet staggered, unable to maintain order. Lyra realized that the humans' goal was not destruction, it was control through intelligence. They were showing the aliens their weaknesses, forcing them to see where they were vulnerable. The humans were teaching a lesson that none of the alien commanders could comprehend. Her curiosity and courage overcame her fear. She moved closer to the landing site, slipping past security. She had to see the humans up close. She wanted to understand their plan. She wanted to learn from them. From her hidden vantage point, she watched as a human scout craft hovered silently. It emitted signals, analyzed the terrain, and then returned to the warship. Every move was precise, calculated, and deliberate. Lyra's fascination grew stronger. They are unstoppable, she whispered. And they are brilliant. The alien commanders attempted one last maneuver to regain control. Fleets formed tight formations, shields activated, and weapons charged. But the humans were already several steps ahead. Their signals disrupted every system, anticipated every attack, and controlled the battlefield without firing a single shot. Lyra understood the human strategy now. They were not here to fight recklessly. They were here to dominate without unnecessary destruction. They were teaching, observing, and controlling, all at the same time. As the sun set, the human warship and its crafts hovered silently. Alien fleets trembled, unsure of how to respond. Lyra felt a mix of awe and fear. She had never seen power and intelligence combined so perfectly. Humans were not just fighters, they were unmatched strategists. And for the first time she realized something important. She could help them. She could learn from them. Her people might never forgive her, but she could not ignore the brilliance of the humans before her. The humans' plan was still hidden, their full power unknown. But one truth was clear: the aliens could no longer control the battlefield, and the humans' influence was growing stronger every moment. Lyra whispered softly, almost afraid to speak aloud, "They are different. They are humans." The war had reached a new stage. The humans were no longer distant observers. They were close, calculating, and unstoppable. And Lyra knew that the next move would decide the fate of the alien world, and possibly the galaxy. The human warship hovered silently above the moon, its lights pulsing like a heartbeat, its intelligence unmatched, its intent still a mystery. The hidden threat had become real. The alien world was tense beyond measure. Even the bravest pilots hovered nervously in the sky, their engines thrumming with fear. The fleets were scattered, their formations broken from the humans' clever attacks and signals. Commander Rylak paced in his control tower, claws clenched tightly, fury and worry twisting his face. "They have controlled everything, without destroying us," he growled. "How is this possible?" Lyra stood quietly, watching the massive human warship above the planet. Her heart pounded with awe and fear. For weeks she had observed humans, studied their signals, and realized one truth: humans were not only strong, they were brilliant beyond any expectation. She had learned their patterns, and her curiosity had grown into admiration. "They are unstoppable," she whispered. "And they are teaching us." Suddenly the human ship moved lower, closer to the planet. Its massive hull glowed brighter, pulsing with energy like a living heartbeat. Smaller human crafts darted down to the surface, scanning, observing, and gathering data. They were not attacking recklessly, they were precise, deliberate, and in control. Rylak slammed his claws on the console. "Form attack squads. Surround the warship. Destroy it before it lands." But the humans were ready. Pulses of energy shot outward from the warship, disrupting alien systems again. Weapons misfired. Shields flickered. Communications failed. Every move of the aliens was anticipated and countered. The human warship was everywhere at once, faster and smarter than the aliens could imagine. Lyra watched, heart racing. She understood now what the humans wanted: not destruction but control. They wanted the aliens to see their weaknesses, to learn, to adapt. The humans were teaching a lesson, and their intelligence was their weapon. From a hidden vantage point on the planet, Lyra slipped closer to the landing site. She had to see them up close, had to understand their strategy fully. She moved silently, bypassing security systems and avoiding detection. Her fascination with humans had grown into determination. She wanted to be part of what was coming. The first humans stepped onto the planet. Lyra could barely make out their forms through the distance, but she felt their presence like a force of nature. They were calm, precise, and unafraid. Their movements were deliberate, their eyes sharp, and every step exuded intelligence and confidence. "They are different," she whispered. "So strong, so smart." The humans sent another pulse of energy. Alien fleets staggered. Systems failed. Cruisers spun out of control. Pilots scrambled to regain order, but every attempt was countered by the human strategic control. It was clear now: the humans did not rely on brute force alone. They relied on observation, calculation, and precise action. Rylak's face darkened with rage. "We cannot fight like this," he roared. "They control everything before we can act." But Lyra saw something he did not. The humans were leaving openings. They were giving the aliens a chance. Testing them, showing them weaknesses, revealing paths to improvement. It was not chaos, it was teaching disguised as battle. She stepped closer, her heart beating fast. She would not be discovered. She would see the humans, learn from them, and maybe even help them. Her curiosity burned brighter than fear. The alien fleets regrouped for one final strike. Rylak's voice boomed across the sky. "Attack together. Focus on the main ship. We will not fail. But the human warship anticipated every move. Pulses of energy spread across the battlefield, knocking out weapon systems, scrambling engines, and confusing alien pilots. Fighters collided mid-air. Cruisers lost power. Alien strategies fell apart in minutes. Lyra watched in awe. Humans were not just fighters, they were masters of strategy. One ship, one captain could dominate an entire world without firing a single deadly shot. From the warship, a beam of light shot down to the planet. It illuminated the alien command center, but instead of destroying it, it revealed patterns, instructions, and knowledge. The humans were showing the aliens exactly how their systems could be improved, how weaknesses could be fixed, and how chaos could be controlled. Lyra gasped. They are teaching us, not destroying us. The alien commanders stared in shock. They could not comprehend the intent. They had expected war, fire, and destruction. Instead, they were witnessing intelligence, precision, and strategy beyond their understanding. Rylak growled, frustrated and confused. This is impossible. But Lyra understood. She stepped forward, closer to the human crafts, risking discovery. Her fascination overpowered fear. She had learned more from these humans in days than her people had learned from centuries of observation. She wanted to see their methods, their minds, their way of thinking. The humans sent another pulse. Alien systems flickered again, but this time the information was clear. Diagrams, signals, and instructions appeared across the alien grids. It was not an attack, it was a lesson. The humans were showing them how to survive, how to fight smarter, how to think faster. Lyra whispered, "They are teaching us. And we have to learn." Rylak tried one last desperate strike. Fleets moved together, targeting the human warship with every weapon. But the humans anticipated everything. Pulses of energy disrupted the attack instantly. Alien ships faltered, systems failed, and chaos reigned. The humans remained calm. They were not in a hurry. They were not reckless. Every move was precise, controlled, and purposeful. Then, in the silence that followed the final pulse, the humans did something unexpected. They sent a signal directly to Lyra. It was small, subtle, but clear, a gesture of invitation. They were aware of her. They had noticed her curiosity, her intelligence, and her courage. Her heart raced. She understood the message. The humans were not only powerful, they recognized potential. They were offering her a chance to learn, to join, to understand. Rylak noticed the interaction but could not understand it. Humans communicated in ways the aliens could not perceive. Their power was not just in technology, it was in thought, in strategy, in observation. One human could change the outcome of an entire battle. Lyra stepped forward, finally seen by the humans. They did not attack. Instead, they extended their hands in signals of peace. She felt awe, fear, and excitement all at once. "They are a human," she whispered. "And they are different. Stronger than anything we imagined." The alien fleets, broken and confused, slowly withdrew. They had lost not because of brute force, but because the humans had outsmarted them at every step. One ship, one human had controlled the battlefield, teaching, testing, and revealing truths that the aliens could not yet comprehend. Lyra joined the humans, stepping onto the warship. For the first time she saw the humans close, intelligent, calm, and precise. They did not boast or brag. They simply observed, calculated, and acted. Their power was not just technology, it was thought, strategy, and understanding. And as she looked at the humans, Lyra realized one final truth. The galaxy had underestimated humans for far too long. One human, one ship could change the fate of an entire world. The human warship hovered above the planet, calm, controlled, and unstoppable. Its lights pulsed softly like a heartbeat. Signals.